The rise and fall of Charlemagne, also known as Charles the Great. Charlemagne, also known as Charles the Great, was a pivotal figure in European history. As king of the Franks and later emperor of the Carolingian Empire, he unified much of Western Europe. His reign marked the Carolingian Renaissance, a revival of art, culture, and education that laid foundations for modern Europe. Born around 742 AD, Charlemagne hailed from the Carolingian dynasty. His father, Pepin the Short, was the first Carolingian king, and his grandfather, Charles Martel, was known for halting the Muslim advance into Europe. Charlemagne's upbringing in a powerful and influential family shaped his future ambitions. Charlemagne ascended to the Frankish throne in 768 AD following his father's death. Initially co-ruling with his brother Carloman, he became the sole ruler after Carloman's sudden death in 771 AD. This marked the beginning of Charlemagne's expansive reign, characterized by military conquests and consolidation of power. Charlemagne's reign saw the significant expansion of the Frankish kingdom. Through a series of military campaigns, he brought various territories under his control. His early campaigns focused on subduing rebellious regions and defending against external threats, establishing a vast and formidable domain. One of Charlemagne's most notable achievements was the conquest of the Lombards in Italy. In 774 AD, he successfully defeated the Lombard king Desiderius, securing control over northern Italy. This victory not only expanded his empire, but also strengthened his alliance with the papacy, enhancing his political influence. Charlemagne's subjugation of the Saxons was a protracted struggle that spanned over 3 decades. The Saxons were fiercely independent and resistant to Frankish control. Charlemagne employed relentless military campaigns to break their defiance, ultimately leading to their forced conversion to Christianity, solidifying his dominance over the region. Charlemagne's campaign against the Avars marked a significant expansion of his empire to the east. By decisively defeating the Avars, he secured vast territories and immense wealth. This victory not only bolstered his military reputation, but also integrated new lands and peoples into the Frankish realm. Charlemagne's governance was marked by a sophisticated administrative system. He established a network of local officials called counts, who managed regions on his behalf. This decentralized approach ensured effective control and facilitated communication throughout the vast empire, laying the foundation for a more organized and stable rule. The Carolingian Renaissance, initiated under Charlemagne, was a period of cultural revival and intellectual flourishing. He actively promoted education, the arts, and scholarly pursuits. By establishing schools and encouraging the preservation of classical texts, Charlemagne played a crucial role in the cultural renewal of Western Europe. Charlemagne's relationship with the papacy was mutually beneficial and strategically advantageous. Aligning himself with the Church, he gained ecclesiastical support and legitimacy. In return, the Pope received military protection and political backing. This alliance strengthened Charlemagne's position and reinforced the Christian foundation of his empire. Charlemagne's coronation as emperor by Pope Leo III on Christmas Day in 800 AD marked a pivotal moment in history, symbolizing the fusion of Roman, Christian, and Germanic elements. This event signaled a renewal of the Western Roman Empire and strengthened the bond between the Frankish kingdom and the Church. The imperial title granted Charlemagne enhanced authority, both secular and divine. It legitimized his rule over a vast and diverse territory, elevating his status among contemporary European rulers. This newfound prestige helped consolidate his power and furthered his mission of unifying and Christianizing Europe under a single, stable regime. Charlemagne's legal reforms were comprehensive, aimed at standardizing laws across his empire. He issued capitularies, which addressed various aspects of governance, justice, and public order. These reforms helped in creating a more cohesive society, reducing regional disparities, and ensuring that his subjects were governed by consistent and fair laws. Economic policies under Charlemagne focused on reviving trade and commerce, which had declined during the early medieval period. He promoted infrastructure improvements, such as roads and bridges, encouraged the use of a stable currency, and fostered trade relationships with neighboring regions. These measures stimulated economic growth and increased prosperity across his empire. Charlemagne's reign saw significant cultural achievements that contributed to the Western civilization's heritage. He championed the Carolingian Renaissance, a revival of art, literature, and learning. By establishing scriptoria and promoting the copying of classical texts, he preserved ancient knowledge and fostered a renewed intellectual vigor that would influence Europe for centuries. Charlemagne's architectural legacy stands as a testament to his far-reaching vision. His most notable construction is the Palatine Chapel in Aachen, a masterpiece of Carolingian architecture. This chapel not only served as a religious center, but also as a symbol of his power and devotion, influencing European architecture for centuries. Military prowess was a cornerstone of Charlemagne's reign. He innovated strategies that combined traditional Frankish tactics with new approaches. His use of heavy cavalry and disciplined infantry formations allowed him to expand his empire effectively, showcasing his adaptability and strategic brilliance in warfare. Diplomacy was another key aspect of Charlemagne's rule. He forged alliances with neighboring tribes and empires, including the Byzantine Empire and the Abbasid Caliphate. These relationships were crucial for maintaining stability and expanding his influence, demonstrating his skill in balancing military might with diplomatic finesse. Charlemagne's personal life was marked by multiple marriages and numerous children. These unions were often politically motivated, strengthening alliances and securing loyalty. His descendants played significant roles in the continuation of his legacy, although their rivalries and ambitions also contributed to the eventual fragmentation of his empire. Religious influence permeated Charlemagne's reign as he fervently promoted Christianity throughout his empire. He supported the church, established monasteries, and enforced the conversion of conquered peoples. This not only unified his diverse territories under a common faith, but also solidified his alliance with the papacy, enhancing his authority. Charlemagne's reign was marked by a fervent drive to spread Christianity. He established numerous churches and monasteries, ensuring the faith permeated all levels of society. His insistence on Christian conversion, often through force, significantly altered the religious landscape of Europe, laying the foundation for a Christian continent. Charlemagne revolutionized education by founding schools and promoting literacy. He believed an educated clergy was essential for a well-governed Christian empire. His efforts led to the establishment of the Palace School at Aachen, where scholars from across Europe gathered, marking a revival in learning and intellectual pursuits. The intellectual revival under Charlemagne saw the patronage of scholars who preserved classical texts and advanced knowledge. Figures like Alcuin of York were instrumental in fostering a culture of learning. This era, known as the Carolingian Renaissance, played a crucial role in the preservation and transmission of classical heritage. Charlemagne's royal residence, the Aachen Palace, became a symbol of his power and cultural aspirations. The palace complex included the Palatine Chapel, an architectural marvel that reflected Byzantine influences. It served as a political and cultural hub, hosting important meetings and housing Charlemagne's impressive collection of relics. Towards the end of Charlemagne's reign, signs of decline began to emerge. His vast empire became increasingly difficult to manage, with local leaders gaining more autonomy. While he maintained control, the cracks in the centralized authority hinted at the challenges that would face his successors, marking the beginning of the empire's fragmentation. The Treaty of Verdun, signed in 843, ended internal conflicts among Charlemagne's grandsons, dividing the empire into 3 distinct regions. This fragmentation weakened central authority and led to the emergence of separate kingdoms. The division marked the beginning of the end for the unified Carolingian Empire, influencing European political boundaries for centuries. Charlemagne's empire faced numerous internal struggles as family disputes and power struggles weakened the unity he had worked hard to establish. His descendants' inability to maintain a cohesive realm led to frequent conflicts over territory and succession, further destabilizing the once mighty empire and contributing to its eventual fragmentation. Viking invasions during Charlemagne's reign, and especially after his death, significantly impacted the empire's stability. These relentless raids on coastal and inland territories strained resources and defenses. The Carolingian rulers struggled to repel these Norsemen, whose incursions added another layer of complexity to an already weakening empire. Charlemagne's death on January 28, 814, marked the end of an era. His passing left a power vacuum that his successors struggled to fill. The immediate aftermath saw increased vulnerability to external threats and internal discord. Despite his efforts to secure succession, the empire rapidly began to fracture under his less capable heirs. Charlemagne's legacy profoundly shaped Europe, influencing its cultural, political, and religious landscape. His revival of learning and governance reforms laid the groundwork for future European development. Although his empire eventually fragmented, the notion of a united Christian Europe persisted, inspiring the formation of the Holy Roman Empire and future European unity efforts. The Holy Roman Empire, established by Charlemagne's successors, embodied his vision of a unified Christian Europe. This empire maintained his legacy by promoting education, culture, and centralized governance. Despite internal conflicts, it preserved Charlemagne's reforms, influencing the continent's political landscape for centuries and shaping the course of European history. Historians view Charlemagne through various lenses, acknowledging his role as a unifier and reformer. Some laud his administrative and cultural achievements, while others critique his militaristic approach. Overall, Charlemagne is celebrated as a pivotal figure whose reign marked the transition from the Dark Ages to a more enlightened medieval Europe. Charlemagne has inspired countless works in popular culture, from epic poems like The Song of Roland to modern films and novels. These portrayals often emphasize his legendary status, blending historical facts with mythic elements. Charlemagne remains an enduring symbol of medieval chivalry, leadership, and the Christian warrior king archetype. Charlemagne's reign offers valuable lessons for modern leaders, highlighting the importance of visionary governance, cultural investment, and religious tolerance. His ability to integrate diverse territories into a cohesive empire demonstrates the power of strategic alliances and reforms. Charlemagne's legacy underscores the impact of strong, enlightened leadership on societal progress. Separating fact from legend in Charlemagne's story is challenging due to the intertwining of historical records and myth. While his military conquests and administrative reforms are well documented, tales of his invincibility and divine favor often exaggerate his deeds. Critical examination helps distinguish the real achievements from the legendary embellishments. Charlemagne's life was shaped by numerous key figures, including his loyal advisors and military commanders. Alcuin of York, a scholar, played a pivotal role in the Carolingian Renaissance, while Einhard, Charlemagne's biographer, documented his achievements. These allies helped Charlemagne govern effectively and enhance his empire's cultural and intellectual stature. Charlemagne's military campaigns were marked by strategic brilliance and relentless ambition. He led his armies in numerous battles to expand the Frankish kingdom, including the conquests of the Lombards and Saxons. His campaigns not only extended his realm, but also spread Christianity, cementing his legacy as a formidable warrior king. Religion was central to Charlemagne's policies, with Christianity shaping his governance and military actions. By forming a strong alliance with the papacy, he reinforced his rule and legitimized his conquests. This religious influence also led to the conversion of conquered peoples, integrating them into his empire and bolstering his power. Charlemagne's influence on modern Europe is profound, with his reign laying the groundwork for the Holy Roman Empire and shaping European political structures. His emphasis on education and culture revived intellectual life, while his legal and administrative reforms provided a foundation for future governance. His legacy endures in European history. In summary, Charlemagne's rise and fall left an indelible mark on Europe. His reign brought significant cultural, political, and religious changes that shaped the continent's future. Despite the eventual decline of his empire, Charlemagne's legacy as a unifier, reformer, and patron of learning continues to be celebrated.